Minecraft doesn't use the U word. U word, Unicode? I have no idea what that is about. In any case, it's Brian, and this is Exploration and Tactics, the Let's Play. Today's episode is mostly a talkie. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. I'm just kind of walking around the world and telling you about some of the things that I did while I was gone, as well as we'll do a little bit of enchanting and playing with the Enderman farm. So there's a little bit of content in this episode, but I'm still trying to get back into the swing of things. Once again, don't expect regular videos for another week or two as I kind of settle back in, but let's go ahead and have another episode of the Let's Play. What is this, episode 14? I don't know. I have to go back and take a look. Like I said, I'm out of practice. Let's get started. New update available. Would you like to update? Not now. There may be other Race for the Wool stuff happening this month that requires me to stay in 1.0, and so I will stay in 1.0. Oh yes, and I remember that I always have to end my Fraps recording and restart in order to actually get to the start screen. Okay, here we are. I have been thinking about going back to Exploration and Tactics a few times, and never did because I couldn't remember all the places where I'd left off and what all I've done. Okay, so we're back here, and I realized there's no sense in fretting about it because if I can't remember everything that's gone on, like, I shouldn't feel bad if I end up repeating myself from stuff that we did in the last couple of episodes, because presumably a number of you won't have remembered everything as well. And there's some new stuff that I have built over there, and so let's just take you on the quick tour. So this is Brian, Exploration and Tactics. Here we are, and I presume that there are more chests here, perhaps, than there used to be. So before I went away... Is there something in here? Oh, it's my painting, right. Looked like a skeleton head or something. Before I went away over the Christmas break, I did play a bit, and so I managed to get some more resources and different things, and so let's see what we've got on us at this point. We have... Right, I have the Fortune 1 pick that I've had forever that I was using for mining some things. I have this great diamond sword, which I don't remember if you guys have seen, that has sharpness 2 and fire aspect 1. I believe I spent somewhere in like the order of like 20 to 24 enchantments levels on that. And then I also have another diamond sword that's sharpness 3, fire aspect 2, that I think I spent like 30 levels on. And oh yes, and I created some diamond boots and enchanted them at whatever level makes you most likely to get feather falling, and got feather falling 2. And the reason that I did that is one thing that you have missed off camera is I did finally die in this world. And that's because if you remember where the sky bridge is, I was overbuilding the sky bridge out in some direction, and I fell off, and I was like 30 blocks in the air, and I fell to my death. And so I decided if I'm going to build the sky bridge again, next time I'll be wearing some feather falling boots if I plan to work on that again. And so let's see. Other than that, I have some extra diamond picks. I have some iron armor that's in bad shape that's over here, because with item repair you can always go and repair it. And so I've been doing that periodically. The armor that I'm wearing is in pretty good shape, but when anything gets in bad shape, I either drop it off in the chest, or otherwise I go and repair it. I still have the usual food chest here. There's nothing exciting. I don't think there was anything else kind of exciting in here. I have more buckets, which, as you may be able to guess, means that I probably found some more, dungeon spawners. And that was some of the loot that we had in the treasure chests. And yeah, I've accumulated some more saddles and another gold music disc. I have this new chest, I think, which is full of redstone and some other kind of miscellany. This chest, as you can see, I have lots and lots of iron and other resources that's been accumulating. I've been getting lots of ender eyes, and so we're going to go check that out, or ender pearls, and I've turned some into ender eyes. I've got 24 diamonds stocked up at this point, as well as a bunch of diamond tools, and so I'm in good shape in the diamond department. So you can tell I've done a lot of mining. This also suggests that I've done a lot of mining, because I have 2 double chests full of cobblestone. And then finally, other kind of miscellaneous mining and block stuff. So that is a nice recap, just to kind of remember where we are. I still have the same little farms around here. And yes, this is just a good opportunity to get me kind of talking on camera once again and playing in the Let's Play world to kind of remember what's going on. And so the one building thing that you may notice that's a little different, I can't remember, I guess at the end of last year, we went to a snow biome and finally got some snow. And so for a while I had a little snow golem in a fenced-in area here, and I would farm him for some snow. And I do have some snow blocks if we ever need that. I'm not sure in 1.1 with the new update if it's the case that it now snows in those kind of pine forests in another one of the biomes or not, because I think they were talking about changing that back, but I'm not sure. Up here, I think we're going to have to do this in another episode because I don't really feel like working on this right now, but I wanted to do some experiments with ambience or whatever the official name is for the cave sounds that you find in Minecraft, which I believe are supposed to trigger when you are within 10 to 20 bricks of a 3x3 dark area. And so, oh, it's got monsters in it right now. So there's a 5x5 container that has a 3x3 hole in the middle that is all dark, and apparently currently contains a zombie. And it was just here because, oh, it contains all kinds of monsters, which I can kill and light on fire with my awesome sword. Oh, this is fun. Yes, and so I wanted to do some experiments with the cave sounds, those noises that you hear. And so I started building this with the intention of being able to do it, and then realized it doesn't like automatically trigger like when you get within 10 or 20 blocks. We didn't hear any cave noises just walking up to it right now. And so I wanted to experiment with different sizes, but we'll worry about that some other time. And I think that's the only other terribly exciting thing that I've built. I spent a lot of time just kind of doing some mining over and around by the Enderman farm. Okay, so that's another thing that I don't remember. Sorry, this episode, in case you haven't been able to tell already, is going to be a little more talky and scattered as I'm just trying to get back into some rhythm. It's not the case that I'm going to be in a rhythm with kind of uploading videos yet. That'll still probably be another week or two out, but I will do some sporadic video uploading and also just try to get back into remembering how to play Minecraft, as it were. In any case, I also don't remember what state you guys last saw the Enderman farm, as I call this crazy device. At some point I had fences as kind of like a thing on the ceiling, and now I have half slabs, which work better, and I think someone suggested that as a possibility in the comments, but I don't remember if you guys have seen it. It's still daytime. It will be turning night soon, and so we'll check it out at night. But the basic idea, just to remind you, is a floating platform, and I have water as just a convenient way to swim up to it, and then finally a ladder at the top. And it goes up to a little 5x5 area that has wooden half slabs. And then a couple blocks higher, there's also wooden half slabs. And so as a result, you can walk over to the edge and you can walk right up to the edge of it. And you don't have to worry about falling off or jumping off because these little half slabs get in your way and so you can't fall. But at the same time, you can kind of like see all the way around on the horizon, and so basically the idea was at night, this is a great place to spawn monsters, and when there are Endermen, you can go and take a look at them, and then they get angry, and they come up, and they jump up into this little arena, and then you can fight the Endermen in the arena, and kill them off, and get Ender Pearls that way. And so that is a fun thing that I've been doing, and so we'll check that out at night, which will be in a few minutes yet. Let's see, I had a list of, we went through the chests, so all the extra stuff that I've gotten in the chests has basically been from lighting stuff up underground all in this area. And so basically my goal has been to light up everything underground, all the cave systems, so that the only place that monsters can spawn when it's nighttime and I'm standing up here is on the ground right up here. I still have a lot of work to do because it's still the case that there's only about 50 monsters that spawn up here, and I think you can have like 200 at a time. And so there still are some unlit places, but at the same time I've lit up a whole lot in a kind of large circumference area around here. I think I might be carrying a map. No, I'm not carrying a map. I had a map that was centered on this area where I'm standing right now, where the Enderman farm is, so that I could make sure that as I was lighting up all underground in these cave systems underneath the ocean, that I was lighting up just in the area that is kind of closest to the Enderman farm, because I think monsters can't spawn more than 128 blocks away from you or something like that. So the goal is to kind of light up everything underground within 128 blocks of here, and then the only place monsters can spawn is in the dark area that's not lit up here. And so, let's see. So in any case, as a result of lighting all that up, I found more dungeons and found more diamonds and mined a whole bunch more iron and gold and that kind of stuff. And so when I was back over at the house with all the chests, that's where all the stuff in the chests came from. Let's see. I think I'm going to wait for nighttime so we can fight some Endermen, and then I'll talk about some other things. So I will see you guys in a moment. Okay, the sun is setting, so monsters will be spawning out here shortly. I can't remember already if when I was talking a moment ago and talking about when I fell to my death when I was building the sky bridge, I was at level 30 at the time, and that's really unfortunate because you lose like 3/4 of your experience or something when you die, even if you go back and you collect all the little experience balls and your items where you died. And so that was kind of a bummer. And so I could have had another good enchanted item potentially. But at the same time, that's okay. It happens. And also, while I'm up here, you can see that basically I have torches, kind of anything that's kind of outside the range of when I'm standing up here. When you look at an Enderman, if the Enderman is too far away, and you can see monsters already starting to spawn very quickly, because I have lit up a lot of this. If you're too far away from the Enderman and you try to look at them, they won't see you, and so basically I have the torches kind of right at the edge of the range of where I can look at the Endermen and make them angry. And then, I don't remember if we have seen this or talked about this before, but at some point I was also putting out a bunch of dirt blocks just to make it less likely for spiders to spawn. Since spiders aren't of interest to me, there's no use in letting spiders spawn and then kind of like take up room in terms of the number of mobs that could be spawning at any one given time. But I foolishly was making all of these little bumps that prevent spiders from spawning, because spiders need, I think, like a 3x3 area to spawn. I was making the bumps out of dirt, and when the Enderman spawned, then the Enderman would pick up the dirt blocks and run away with them, and so that was becoming a mess. And so I haven't kept working on that at all, and it's already starting to degrade. You can see there's a number of kind of missing blocks in the pattern. And in any case, I haven't done this in a while to remember just how fast kind of the mobs populate out here. I believe if you press F3 up in the top left corner where it says E20 out of 211, I think 20 means that kind of like in the area that I'm viewing right now, there are 20 mobs in front of me. And so there's like 20 over on that half of the screen and 10 currently over on that half out of 202, kind of like total anywhere in the world, I think is maybe what those numbers mean. I'm not 100% sure, honestly. But yeah, basically the idea of the Enderman farm, and I think usually I have more luck than this, is mobs start spawning, and occasionally one of those mobs will be an Enderman, and then you can look at them and fight them up here. And so I'm going to wait for a minute to get some Endermen to spawn. Another thing worth mentioning is that the mobs are far enough away. I think if mobs are more than 32 blocks away... Oh, there's an Enderman. There, and I got him angry. He's coming over towards me. If mobs are more than 32 blocks away, they can despawn, and I think on average will despawn in about... There he is. Hello. And that's how we kill the Enderman. Ooh, my food is very low, and so I should eat some food before I'm doing all this. That would be smart. See, I haven't played the game in a while, and I wasn't even thinking about that at all. I didn't look at my health, I didn't look at my food bars. Alright, at least now I'll regain some health. Yes, so as you're watching, you'll see mobs spawn and despawn rather frequently, just kind of right in front of your eyes. And one thing that's interesting is I've seen a number of spider jockeys up here, typically about one per night. And so spider jockeys, I guess, only have like a 1 in 100 chance of spawning when a spider spawns or something like that. But one thing that I've noticed that's interesting is when they despawn, the skeleton who is riding the spider, that's what a spider jockey is, they can despawn independently. And so I've seen the skeleton despawn and the spider just left and still hopping around. And I've also seen the spider despawn, in which case the skeleton just gently falls to the ground and lands back on his feet and keeps walking around. And so that's been interesting. And... but yeah, it's definitely been the case that I've seen more spider jockeys up here watching from my little Ender Farm platform than I have anywhere else in the game. Is there one over there? No, I think that's just a skeleton walking around near a spider. And hopefully, I should check, what is my lighting setting? I have not done a lot of recording lately, and so I hope I'm not screwing things up. Alright, I'm at 76%. You guys should be able to see this on the screen, I hope, on YouTube. Yes, like I said, it's going to take me a couple of episodes, I think, to kind of get back into my rhythm of excitement and things. Okay, and yes, mostly I've been talking, and so far I've killed one Enderman, and those few enemies that we saw up in the little cube that I was doing some testing of the cave noises, and so this has not been very interesting thus far, and so in a minute I think I will take you down into the caves. So I will go ahead and play out the night up here and see you guys in a short bit. There's a spider jockey right there, skeleton riding a spider. So yeah, like I said, I usually see them about once per night, and there is our one tonight, apparently. I still haven't seen any more Endermen, though. It's pretty crazy. Like, usually I get 3 or 4 Endermen a night is what I was remembering before I left. And I'm going to keep the spider jockey on the screen and keep the recording going, just in case one or the other despawns separately. Yep, the spider just despawned and the skeleton's still there. Neat. Aha, an Enderman. Let's see if this guy will drop me a pearl. Hello. Haha! The enchantment that I really want to get next is a looting sword, because when you get the enchantment of looting on a sword, it means that enemies who usually drop 1 item may drop 2 or 3, and so, or possibly even 4, I don't know. And so if you had like a sword with a good looting enchantment and you hit an Enderman, you might get 3 or 4 Ender Pearls, and that would be a great way to get more Ender Pearls, because I really want to experiment with them. Yeah, I have a long list of ideas of things that I want to do in the Let's Play world. One of them is just experimenting with Ender Pearls for teleportation. And so, yes, that's the reason I've been trying to accumulate Ender Pearls and that I made the Enderman farm up here in the first place. And yes, as I've talked about before, like there's obviously other kind of mob farms that you can build that are completely automatic. And I could build those, and obviously I'd be able to accumulate a whole lot more resources that way, but that's just less interesting to me. I like doing something a little bit different and something that gives the mobs at least some sense of a fighting chance. Killing the Enderman up here is pretty easy because you can just hit them at their feet, and they usually only get maybe 1 hit on me. And yeah, and then in any case, you can see what happens when it turns daytime. Most of the mobs burn up. Creepers and spiders will obviously still be down there, and so that gives me more chance to earn some more experience. But if I don't get down quickly, they quickly start despawning, and so I've already seen 1 or 2 of the creepers despawn. So let's go down there and kill some more bad guys, and then, with my 2 levels of enchantment, there's something else that I would like to do as well. And so I need to be careful. Oh yeah, there's still a number of guys out here. Hello! Oops, well, I made a mess of that. I made a big mess of that. Alright, I am totally out of practice with this. So that is a big ugly mess. But I will kill some more enemies, I will clean up this mess, and then I will meet you guys over at the enchantment table because there's a couple things we need to do over there. So I'll see you guys in a moment. Okay, so we're back over at home, and one thing I would like to do is I've learned that even the low-level enchantments are, like Protection 1, are useful for your armor. However, the way I have my enchanting table set up right now, it will take a while to get level 1 enchantments because I have so many books around. But we all know the common solution that people use for that, which is to use sticky pistons and then have the pistons move the bookshelves in and out, so they either are or are not contributing to the enchanting power. And so I'm going to take a moment to do that. So I'm going to build some pistons and see you guys in a moment. I wonder if there's a way to do this without any repeaters, but the easiest way I found was using a couple of repeaters in order to aim the redstone into the pistons. But basically from here, I can do this to push the bookcases up so that they will affect the enchantment table, and then I can flip this back down, and now they won't affect the enchantment table because they're too low. And so I will cover up this floor with dirt, and there's not enough room in there to spawn mobs, and so I don't have to worry about that. I'm not sure if that's going to break my connection or not. I guess it does, so I might need to leave that open. Yeah, I'll have to see in terms of aesthetics if there's something else nice. Actually, I bet you I can, rather than have redstone here, I bet you I can have this all plugged up, and if I put the switch right here, it will put power down through this block. Let's find out. Yep. Okay, great. Perfect. So I will go do the same thing on the other side and see you all in a moment. Okay, and so I did the same thing on the other side. And so now I can turn off half of the bookcases very easily. I'm going to have to decide if I also want to deal with the other half. But at this point, if I were to go and take the iron chest plate, I don't think it would take me too long to find a number 1 enchantment, hopefully, maybe, possibly. No, it still would be better to get rid of more bookcases, and so I will still fiddle with this for a moment. Oops. So I will see you guys in a moment. Okay, it's not as pretty with the exposed redstone, but I added 3 more pistons to each side, like so, and so if I hit this switch, these get pushed in and these guys get pushed up, and it's the exact same thing on the other side here. If I hit this switch, these guys get pushed in and the ones from the bottom get pushed up. And so that gives me a nice way to reduce the levels a bit. And so now, with my 4 levels, I'm going to go ahead and enchant a full set of iron armor and hope to get just like protection 1 on each of the pieces. And so, for example, I have an iron chestplate right here, right ready, and this will still be a little bit of clicking, probably, to get a level 1 enchantment. But I'll go ahead and enchant this. There we go, level 1. Let's see what I get. Protection 1, exactly what I wanted. Great. I will make up the other iron suit of armor, and I will see you guys in a moment. Okay, and so after a bit of clicking, now I have projectile protection 1, projectile protection, and projectile protection 1 on the set of iron armor. I'm putting this set of armor away because I don't need to use it right now, because I'm not going to be doing anything too dangerous. I might wear this the next time I go into the nether. Projectile protection sounds exciting, but basically it only protects you from like arrows and possibly like the fireballs that get shot at you, whereas protection 1 has a simpler name, but it protects you from all kinds of extra things with a little extra percentage. And so protection 1 is actually the preferred thing to get, as opposed to a particular type of protection like blast protection or projectile protection. Blah, blah, blah. That's quite a mouthful to say. In any case, I have that on hand. I wanted to futz with the enchanting table and the pistons. I may add some more pistons to this to make it easier to turn this even further on and off at some point. But there you go. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to do was try to show you some of the underground. And yeah, if I have time now, I might have a little bit more time to record right now, and so we may have that in this episode, or we might not. I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so I'm here underground. You may or may not be familiar with this trick. Ethos used it a number of times. I don't think I've ever used it in my Let's Play before. This little contraption, while it looks dangerous with the TNT, I'm just using the TNT because TNT is one of the full blocks that doesn't suffocate the player. And so if I hit the switch, it just powers these pistons and pushes the TNT over here, which means I can go and stand over in the corner and hit the switch, and now all of a sudden I'm inside blocks. And once you're inside blocks, you can look underground and basically see through things and either see dark areas like that are an unlit cave system. I think so. That might also just be kind of like the top of the ground, because that's near the surface. And there's some kind of crazy lake above me. Yeah, I'm about halfway down. There's a lot of stuff going on over here. I do think that that's a cave system, as well as the lit up cave systems and sea underground. So this is pretty much kind of a cheat. It's kind of a bug or a glitch in the game. But at the same time, this allows me to just kind of show off just how much of the underground I have lit up underneath. You can see the Enderman farm is over there. And so there's all kinds of stuff over here, and it's almost all completely lit at this point. And so I've been searching and searching and trying to find all the mobs. And apparently there's a dungeon with a spider dungeon that's right below me somewhere. And yeah, so this is a fun trick if you haven't seen it before. Once you're squished in the TNT, you can just step right out, because like I said, it doesn't suffocate the player, so just use some sticky pistons. Make sure you set up the redstone so that it's not next to the TNT, because you don't want to set the TNT off. But then you could just hook it up to a switch, go and step inside, and then see underground. And so if you're looking for unlit cave systems, and you don't want to use the traditional methods of just using your ears, you can always build this with a couple of sticky pistons, some TNT, and a little bit of redstone. But I just wanted to show off kind of all the underground that I've lit, and you couldn't even see all of it there because I spent many hours just trying to find all of the cave systems and digging things up and listening for enemies in order to light up the underground so that the enemies would spawn up top near the Enderman farm. In any case, that's definitely a good place to call this an episode, so I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm still just trying to get back into the rhythm of doing the Let's Play, playing Minecraft, etc. And yeah, over the next couple of weeks, hopefully I'll settle back into a rhythm. I hope you're having a good day, and I will see you all next time. Have I showed you guys this before as well? I can't remember. This is my little drop. It's a safe drop because it has a water break. And this went down to one of the places where, when I was originally doing some branch mining for diamonds, I was doing branch mining for diamonds down there. And now, unfortunately, I don't have a fast way back up, and so I just have to climb back up. But there's one little other thing to show off if I haven't shown it off before. Alright, see you guys next time. Have a good day.